Welcome to Iron and Ink. My name is Professor Atticus Inksmudge. Let's talk about the Constitution. Now, originally the Constitution in 1775 was written for a population about 3 million people, not the 330 million people that we currently have today. That is less than modern New York City. And instead of almost 4 million square miles, it was about 1 million square miles. This was in the time with horse-drawn mail, town meetings, and militias. Not the time of instant communication, 24-hour media, and text messages. James Madison in the Federalist Papers, especially number 10, argued that a larger republic prevented domination by factions, wherein it was large enough so that no one idea could take over the whole thing without everybody's consent, and it was small enough that it was manageable. In the Federalist number 14, he defended the scale by also positing the idea that we at home inside of our states would argue our ideas with each other and then send representatives up to the Capitol to present those ideas, which would be voted yay or nay by popular vote. In the Federalist number 9, he argued that the Union itself safeguards against rebellion from any one state, wherein if one state got too wily, then the other states would reel them back in. Modern scholars call this the extended republic thesis, where it's big enough to avoid tyranny, but small enough to govern. Donald Livingston warns that the U.S. may have outgrown that balance. We have 330 million citizens that can't possibly be governed under one constitution. In a movie from the year 2000 with Mel Gibson called The Patriot, his character illustrates this really well.
Please, Mr. Howard, why should I trade one tyrant 3,000 miles away for 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away?
This idea demonstrates, while not historically accurate or cited from any primary source, it illustrates the idea that was very relevant to that time. Now, it's relevant to our time too, because in their day, with Philadelphia being the proposed capital, 3,540 miles from London. That's quite a big distance, but it's also about the same distance from Washington, D.C. to Seattle. From D.C. to Anchorage, it's about 3,360 miles. To Honolulu, it's 4,800 miles. So how can we reasonably expect that Washingtonians, Alaskans, and Hawaiians can feel like their representatives up in Washington, D.C. are having the same experience as us here? Journalist Colin Woodard wrote a fantastic book called American Nations, which argues that we are not one nation, but we are 11 distinct nations with 11 distinct cultures. We're not just divided among state lines. We're divided among values, memory, not just geography. Our challenge today is not just scale, but cultural fracture. Geography no longer guarantees liberty. It just divides it. So the argument has been time and time again. Do we freeze the Constitution and valorize them as heroes beyond their time? Or do we update it like a living document, as others say was the intent? First, we have citizens' assemblies. Instead of leaving lawmaking to lobbyists and gridlocked legislators, imagine regular assemblies of randomly selected citizens, just like jury duty, who deliberate on key issues and advise Congress. It would ground policy in everyday experience and restore civic ownership of the republic. Number 2, restructuring representation. The founders capped representation at 30,000 citizens per House member. Today, it's nowhere near that. It's closer to 750,000. That's ridiculous. That's broken. We need to expand the House of Representatives or restructure into regional councils that can govern closer to the people. More seats, smaller districts, more accountability. Number 3, regional republics with shared defense. The U.S. is now too vast and diverse for a one-size-fits-all governance. Inspired by the founders' own federal experiment, we could explore a union of regional republics. Maybe states, maybe something different. Each sovereign over culture and governance, but united for defense, trade, and shared freedoms. Number 4, rebalancing the Electoral College. If we keep it at all, the Electoral College must be reformed to better reflect actual citizens rather than distorting the outcomes based on geography or just faithless electors. I'm sure that we all feel like our electors misrepresent what we actually wanted. Alternatives include proportional allocation or ranked choice presidential elections, which I strongly favor. It's a joke that we even run elections at all when the winner-take-all scenario plays into the idea of a righteous party and an evil party. There's no real thing as binaries in life. Everything has a middle ground. And when we only have two parties, then that fits into our primate psychology of good versus evil. We need more than that. We need something more responsible. So let's rethink this. What does the Constitution for a population of 330 million people look like? Or more so, what do the constitutions that these people need look like? Thanks for watching.